If you have ever felt that the ways that you express yourself or the ways that you try to get your needs met or your boundaries set has backfired, it might be an indication that there is an aspect of you that needs healing. So in this video, I'm going to deepen the conversation on roadblocks. A roadblock is any aspect of yourself or the collective divine that inhibits your ability to have your basic needs met or your ability to allow somebody else to have their basic needs met. In a previous video, I talked about what the basic needs of humanity are, but they generally are safety, security, emotional intimacy, autonomy of identity, respect, psychological safety, self-actualization, the ability to express yourself and contribute to the whole. So how do you know if you have a roadblock? Well, you might have a strong opinion and you might be really rigid and you're unable to see somebody else's perspective. So if you are really rigid in your belief and you can't accept that there are other belief systems out there that might be legitimate for where that person is on their journey of evolution, then you are coming up against a roadblock within yourself. From a spiritual concept, when you are really self-aware and really connected to your inner compass, you understand that all of humanity is at their own level of self-awareness and learning and self-discovery and connection to their own inner compass. So if you are experiencing some rigidness in your thinking and you can't think outside of your current frame of belief system, and you're not questioning your own belief system and where it came from and whether or not it is helpful to you and the collective, then it is an indication that there is a roadblock. If you are coming up against something in your body, like if somebody does or says something, or you say or do something, and it's creating a sense of anxiety inside you, or disharmony or body sensations that feel uncomfortable, it is an indication that there's a roadblock. It's an indication that either you've tapped into something in the collective that is making you uncomfortable, you've connected into something in somebody else that is making you uncomfortable, or you've connected into something within yourself that is making you uncomfortable. And when you're uncomfortable, there is an indication that you need to deepen your self-awareness and you need to connect in with your inner compass and you need to heal that aspect of yourself. So that is another indication of a roadblock. It is when you're feeling disharmony inside of your physical experience or your mental, emotional experience. The inner compass, again, is when you feel calm and compassionate and curious and you want to collaborate for the common good of all, and you're open to the understanding that you don't know what's best for others, that you know what's best for you, but others ultimately know what's best for them, and you're willing to collaborate in a way that ensures that what is best for you and what's best for them is able to be worked out so that each person gets to have self autonomy and free will of how they want to show up for the world. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to allow others to treat you unkind or take away your autonomy if that's their level of consciousness, right? If somebody believes that what's best for them is taking away your autonomy, that's an indication that they're engaging with you from a roadblock, and it is important for you to set a boundary with them and maybe even step away from them if that's gonna lead to safety, because ultimately we all have autonomy, we all have the ability to self-determine, we all have free will, and we have to decide for ourselves, how do we want to show up for the world? And I'm suggesting that a self-aware person, a person with emotional intelligence, a person who has mastered all of the stages of development that they have gone through up to the point that they are at age, will be more compassionate, more collaborative, more understanding, more empathetic, more curious about others' experiences, and more accepting of diversity. Okay. So you might disagree with this. You might have belief systems that say that my perspective is not valid. And I respect where you're at if that's where you're at. But I invite you to get curious about why you're uncomfortable with my idea that this is a healed state. And if you disagree that this is not a healed state, I invite you to get curious about what you consider a healed state to be.